Good evening, everybody, from the Titan Coliseum on the campus of Lane Community College in beautiful Eugene, Oregon. This is the Basketball League on TBL TV. Tonight's matchup features your Emerald City Jaguars against the Salem Capitals in a Pacific Northwest Division contest. The Jags are entering tonight's contest, still seeking that first win of the season. Meanwhile, the Capitals are on a hot streak after dropping its first two games. Salem has reeled off 3 straight, and the Caps are sitting in 3rd place. Good evening, everybody. I'm Joey Kieran. Happy to be with you here for this evening's contest as we get ready for this TBL matchup. Looking forward to getting a chance to see the TBL for the first time here tonight and bringing you the action here from Eugene. Right now, the Jags are looking to break out of that 0-for-4 slump, but we'll see if they can put it all together against a Capitals team heating up here. Winners of 3 straight, sitting in 3rd in the Pacific Northwest Division. Led by head coach Kevin Johnson Jr., the Capitals looking to continue that hot streak. Head coach Thomas Bullock looking to try and get the Jags in the win column for the first time in program history. I believe we got some keys to the game that we might be able to. We had some keys to the game. We'll see if we can work those up here at some point. But as we make our way towards tip-off here tonight, we're excited to be with you. We'll have a look at your starting lineups here coming up in just a few as we get ready for this matchup. Definitely looking to find some scorers for this Jaguars team. And right now, Emerald City coming in, averaging just over 101 points per game, shooting 46% from the field, but they've got to pick up the three-point shooting. 26.5% shooting from behind the arc. They're going to need to get that going, especially against a team like the Salem Capitals. The Capitals right now have been shooting the lights out from long range. The Salem Capitals shooting 40.1% from behind the arc and 80% from the free throw line. They're shooting just over 45% from the field, but with that three-point shooting number, the Capitals have been looking very electric. Speaking of electric, that is the opponent that the Capitals got their most recent win against. Salem coming off of a 113-100 win over the Great Falls Electric back on Saturday, building a 10-point lead in the second quarter, leading 48-38 at halftime and pulling ahead 78-58 by the end of the third quarter. Salem in that one made 15 three-pointers to only 5 three-pointers made by Great Falls. So they definitely were lights out. Free throw, rebounding, turnover numbers, those were all relatively even, but that three-point shooting really helped propel Salem to the victories. On the other side, coming off of a 122-89 loss against Great Falls on Friday in their last game. That was a week ago for the Jags. That loss, Great Falls went on a 14-0 run in the first quarter to really start to put the game away. Emerald City trailed 32-19 after the end of the first quarter and fell behind as many as 38 points. Their most lopsided loss on the season. Great Falls shot 55% from the field, made 11 threes. So three-point shooting defense is going to be big. We are going to get ready to bring you tonight's Emerald City Jaguars and the Salem Capitals matchup here on TBL TV. We've got your starting lineups coming up here in just a moment from tonight's public address announcer. Here are your keys to the game we mentioned earlier. For Salem, let's try and spread the ball around for the Capitals. They want to try and give up no open threes. Obviously, you want to make it life difficult, and with the Jags trying to get going with the three-pointers, that's big. And they also got to get their man going. That is Preston Whitefield. On the other side, keys of the game for the Jaguars, take high percentage shots. They've got to find a way to score. They've got to keep up with the Capitals tonight. They want to try and get bodies down in the paint to be able to make those easy buckets underneath. And then they've got to stop Preston Whitefield, who has been one of the top scorers for this Capitals team this season. Whitefield comes in averaging over 20 points per game. It's time now to get a look at tonight's starting lineups for the two teams. I think we might be doing the starting lineups after tonight's national anthem.
All right, y'all. We're having technical difficulties. So are you guys all we sing this together? Oh, are you guys all good if we sing this together? All right. I'm gonna start to sing off the microphone, and then here we go. Ready? Oh, say.
Well, we had a bit of an adventure there. We'll see how the rest of tonight's program works out. Now it is time to get introduced to the starting lineups for both the Emerald City Jaguars, the home team tonight, and the Salem Capitals here at Lane Community College. We'll send it back down to our public address announcer for the starting five for tonight's Salem Capitals.
Lauren. Number 11, with the at number 10, Ben. The Capitals are coached by Kevin Johnson and Bo. And now, on your seats and on your feet, let's beat the Jaguars! All right, and they got number 5, Johnson. Playing for number 11, Evan Fletcher. Playing the 7, number 3, Guitar. And playing number 40, Marvin Worthy. Jaguars are coached by Compass Bullet. Jordan Sanders.
There are your starting five for tonight's match. For the Emerald City Jaguars, again, it is Boykin, Scott, Fletcher, Croston, and Worthy. And for the Capitals, it'll be Gentry, Lawrence, Billinger, Smith, and Whitfield. Leading scorers for Salem, it is Whitfield, averaging 20.4 points per game. On the other side for the Jaguars, averaging just over 19 points a game. G. Boykin leading the way. They'll tip it up in the center circle. That is, get adjusted to the numbers. Wearing the yellow is Emerald City, and wearing the very colorful main color black and then a lot of other colors out there. It's a full palette of colors for Salem as the opening tip is into the backcourt, and it is won by the Jaguars. G. Boykin will lead things up from Lithonia, Georgia. The 6'3" point guard gives it away. Out at the top, going to be a quick three off the mark for Kevin Fletcher. Rebound down to the Caps, bringing it here right to left. The Caps, a three, clinks off the back of the iron. Rebound comes down to Scott, who will push it up the floor, right side, angles to the left and draws back out. The call for some help, hands it off left side for Boykin, who looks to attack around a screen right side. From the elbow into the corner, a three, and that is good. Preston with the opening three and giving the Jaguars an early 3-0 advantage. So the Jags will take the lead here early on. Angling left side around the screen. Lob to the rim. Tipped up by Boykin. Saves it back in. And it's the Jaguars who will keep it. Up the floor, Scott to the right side. Attacking. Tries the looping shot. No good for Fletcher. Couple of offensive boards. Tip out into the corner. Last touch. Off of the Capitals on the baseline. 10:53 to go here in the opening quarter of our ball game. 3-0 score for the Jaguars early on. Inbounding triggered by Scott out to the top. Taking the ball left side. A long two just from inside the arc, and the friendly roll here at home. That was Kevin Fletcher on the long two to make it 5-0 Jags early against the Caps. To the near side. With the basketball out to the top. Numbers for the Caps going to be interesting there. They've got the graffiti look to them, a whistle. That'll be on Scott picking up his first. Scott picking up his first foul and non-shooter as Scott tried to work around a screen to stay on the ball handler. Inbound. Out to the top, looking to attack down the left side of the lane. That ball tipped and out of bounds on the shot there for Billinger. Swatted out of bounds. 10:24 here in the first quarter. Still Capitals basketball. Into the corner with it. Gentry looks out to the top, trying to drive left side. Stopped, cut off for Whitfield as they try to stay on him. A long two from the right elbow. Right on through for the Capitals, who get on the scoreboard with 10:11 to go in the first quarter. It is 5-2. Left side for Boykin. Out at the center circle. Yo-yo dribble. One-hand bounce pass. Nearly taken away. Keeping the basketball. Fletcher. He pulls up inside the arc. His shot pulled down on the miss. Caps running the floor. In the left blocks. Ball stripped out of the hands. And coming away with it is the Jags. Fletcher. His pass got tipped up. Throw left side. Almost got travel. Back out to Fletcher. Right wing. Up to the top. Head fake by Scott. Left side. A three by Boykin. Off the mark underneath. Battle for the board. And pulling it down is Whitfield. Sends it up the right sideline. Pulled in. Back out to Whitfield. He'll try a deep three. Back iron. No. Long rebound out of bounds to the Jaguars. 9:25 to go here in the opening period. It's the Emerald City Jaguars leading it currently. Kevin Fletcher. Inbound and triggers. Boykin. Crossover. Gets by Billinger. Back to the right side. Fake the handoff to him. Looking to attack Fletcher. Into the middle. Back out left side. A three. Flanks off the iron here at the Titans Coliseum. A three. Sorry, long two, I believe, here in front of us. And it is a long two for the Capitals. Makes it 5-4. Right side, three in the corner. That is Brandon Suttles out there. Q, that is Q, crossed it on that three. He's wearing number 23 tonight, not number 33. And I kept thinking it was 23, but I guess they'll switch it back to number 33 for him here soon. A left side shot off the mark, out to the top, driving in, makes the late pass, and the lay-in from the left side. Drops in, putting in the bucket. Marv Worthy into the ball game and getting his first points. It's an early 6-point lead here. 8 minutes to go in the first quarter. Entry pass knocked away. That is Q with the steal. Feeds it up the floor. Fletcher, left side, driving baseline now. The toss back out. Worthy gets it. Backing his way in, turns face, back out. Q, the deep three from straight away, won't fall. Couldn't get the friendly roll here on their home court for the Jags. On the left side, Whitfield. They'll reset in the front court. Billinger draws it back out towards the midcourt stripe. With 7:29 down to 10 on the shot clock. Driving in, a whistle. Going right to the rim and staying down. I believe Billinger there. He gets up, pops himself up quickly. Billinger Jr. from Carbondale, Illinois, the point guard out of Drury University, will get a chance to shoot two here after drawing the foul. He's soaring to the iron from the left side. He's getting some jersey clarifications on everything here tonight, but we're, I think, straightened out. First free throw drops in, makes it a 5-point game, 10-5. 7:25 to go here in the opening period of our TBL ball game here tonight. Second free throw for the righty is right on target. Billinger Jr. hits them both. 7:22 and counting in the opening quarter. Walking up the ball across the timeline for Scott. Gives it away. Out at the top. Ooh, nice jab step back. Draining the three. Boykin gets the three. Back out to a 7-point lead. 13-6. Around the screen. Long two. Came out of the hand. A little flat. Goes right through. No problem, though, for Billinger. He's starting to heat up here in the first. Has it back to a 5-point game. Boykin angles right side. Got a little bit of screen. Got some separation. The finger roll off the iron. A bit too strong. Body slow to get up here for both sides. Two players still in the backcourt. A three for the Caps. No, underneath. Rebound pulled down. Muscling his way in. Bucket good for Isaiah Gentry. The 6'4" shooting guard. Able to pick that one up underneath. Muscles his way back in. On the other side, the runner counted in the foul for Fletcher. He knew contact was coming, just flung it up at the iron and rattles it in. And he gets the bucket plus the foul. 15-10, our score with 6:26 to go here in the first quarter, and we've got our first media timeout of the night. Breaking the action gives us a chance to say thanks to some of our sponsors for Jags basketball here on TBL, including Excel Electric, home to your local electrical service specialist. Excel Electric has served as the highly rated electrical contractors in the Willamette Valley, a locally owned and operating company of electricians that are driven to provide exceptional electrical services with a focus on customer satisfaction and a pride for efficient electrical solutions. Excel Electric's licensed technicians will stop at nothing to ensure that you are treated with the highest quality electrical service. Our ultimate goal is to continue to expand our community service by continuing to provide quality electrical solutions to our neighbors and local business owners. If you have any questions about Excel Electric and their services, don't hesitate to call today. Visit them at excel-electric.com. Also, thanks to Threadbare Print House. Threadbare Print House provides high-quality screen printing with an emphasis on customer service and environmental responsibility. With a belief in giving back and strong roots in our local community, Threadbare has grown from a garage operation to a full-service screen printing shop. Catering to the needs of creative businesses, Threadbare makes more than just T-shirts. They make relationships that last a lifetime. Specializing in offering the best that a blank T-shirt industry has to offer in both fit and sustainability, you can usually find them printing and stitching away in their shop at 463 Washington Street in the Market District of lovely Eugene, Oregon. At the first media timeout, our score is 15-10. The Jags leading right now over the Capitals. Right now, let's take a look-see here. Leading scorer, Brandon Suttles with 6. Leading the way for the Jags. And actually, that is going to be, that's Q. That's actually the leading scorer. He had the wrong jersey on, so they gave those points to Brandon Suttles. So Q with 6 points leading the way on a couple of made three-pointers. On the other side for Salem, 6 points in the game for Joseph Billinger, who has made a couple of from inside the arc and a couple at the free throw line so far. Early going 0 of 1 at the free throw line, or the three-point line for Salem, and that's a good trend for the Jags as they got to keep the Capitals off of the three-point line. The and one opportunity there for Fletcher doesn't go, but an offensive board underneath. Another chance, a right side three, rattles in, and there's Q wearing his number 33, got him in the right jersey, and we'll see if we can get the stats corrected as well to go to Q because he was wearing the wrong jersey number to start out. On the other side, attacking That is a bucket lay-in for Billinger, who continues to lead the way for the Capitals. 6 minutes to go. It's a 6-point ball game. Driving in Fletcher, the runner, drops through. Right through the nylon for Fletcher. Good all-around scoring coming right now for the Jags. Backing his way in. Toss out by Gentry along the floor. Looking underneath. Found the open man, but couldn't finish for Smith. Mo Smith came up just a bit short on a wraparound. Trying to go the other direction in traffic. Some contact. Sends one of the Jags players. That is Boykin to the ground. Boykin will get a hand up. He's good to go. Substitution coming in for the Jags. I believe Q heading to the bench. And coming into the ball game. Coming in, that is E Cobb. What we're going to go with here tonight. E getting into the ball game. At that center position, Cobb, the 6'8" center out of Santa Maria, California. Inbound. Didn't go to the target they wanted to, but the Jags will track it down. Fletcher with it out on the right side, high at the top. He'll pull up a three. Back iron, no. It's E with the board. Cobb goes back up, and the putback bucket drops it in. Suddenly, just like that, it's a 10-point lead for the Jags as they look to try and get the crowd going here on their home court. E going for that first win. Open man underneath, backing his way in is Smith. Has to send it back out. Looking to attack right side. Back out to the top. A three rattles in as he goes down to the ground. Coming up with the bucket. Preston Whitfield starts getting into the action. I believe Whitfield, he was held scoreless before that first media timeout. So his first points of the night come on a deep three. The Caps would like to get him going. Backing his way in. E tries to find the cutter. It's taken away. The Caps with it, up the floor for Gentry, finds the cutter in the basket, and there's another quick two for Whitfield. And the Caps are starting to get him going. Quick 5 points for their leading scorer, and it's cut down to a 5-point ball game, 22-17. Around a screen, in the lane, pull-up jumper, squared it up and off the mark for Boykin. Underneath, Cobb has come off the bench, and he's provided a spark. Doing a good job on the glass. Cobb comes up with the offensive board, put back, doesn't get the bucket to fall, but heads to the free throw line for a chance to get some points with the clock stopped. 4:25 to go here in the first quarter. Right now, it's your Emerald City Jaguars leading at 22-17. First free throw will flush in. Cobb out of Western Oregon University, averaging 8 points per game. And his last game in that loss against Great Falls, 8 points, 10 rebounds, fouled out. He's kind of on a similar trajectory here. Both free throws will go through. Makes it a 7-point game at 24-17. 4:22 and counting. It'll be Billinger that runs the point, bringing the ball up. Whistle. Kicked ball, I believe. Just looking down at my notes there momentarily. Inbound from the far sideline, just at the end of the bench for the Jags. Lob it into the corner for Billinger. Looks to attack from the corner with the left-hand dribble. Jump stop at the right side of the lane. Finds a backside cutter, and at the rim, able to finish. Sporting the mask is Dominic Lawrence. Got his nickname written down here. That is Domo. Domo, not Domo. Domo with the lay-in. 24-19 your score in the right corner. Bringing the ball out. The Jags will reset. John Walker into the ball game. Pitch back out. Down to 2 on the shot clock. Missed everything. Loose ball. It is picked up by the Caps. They're not going to stop it. In transition. Toss back out. Whitfield gives it up. A 3 for Gentry. That was Billinger. And then a whistle on the fight for the rebound. That goes on Khalifa. That is A.B. Khalifa, who is in the game for the Jags. Out there you've got Cobb, Walker, Khalifa. That is Dante Scott out there as well. His 5 looks very much like a 6. And it'll be Caps basketball angling right side with the basketball. Gentry here. Pull up from the free throw line. Back iron. Up for the rebound is Cobb. He pulls that one down. look for the ball handler, gets it to Scott to bring it up the floor. Pass left side, goes through the hands, but then taken back in transition and a finger roll at the iron. Lay in good. That is Khalifa on the 2. 26-19, 7-point game. Driving in, blocking foul against the Jags. Whitfield draws the whistle. That'll go on Khalifa. He got the points on one side and gets whistled for the foul on the other side. 5-3 on the fouls right now. 5 fouls on the Jags, 3 on the Capitals. We've hit our second timeout here, media timeout. We'll get a chance to acknowledge One Bad Dog. One Bad Dog is a proud sponsor of the Emerald City Jaguars, home of hot dogs, cotton candy, and the West Coast Wiener Tour, located in the 5th Street Eatery and Bar. 26-19 our score here at the Titan Coliseum, home of the Lane Titans, and tonight home of the Emerald City Jaguars, who look for that first win on the season. 26-19 is your score. See who they send out to the floor out of the timeout. And so far, a good start for the Jags. As mentioned at the last media timeout, was 0 for 1 on three-point attempts for the Capitals. They've started to heat up a little bit, but still building that early lead for the Jaguars. Allowed them to sustain some of those three-pointers, which we knew would be coming for Salem at some point. Early going, Hugh Croston. He's been good early on for the Jags. Off the bench here, Khalifa has gotten a couple of big, and then really been impressed with Cobb coming off the bench. He has provided a nice spark, hitting the glass and finding opportunities for himself. But we have seen Preston Whitfield start to heat up here as his first quarter is starting to wind down. In the yellow jerseys, that is the Emerald City Jaguars here on TBL TV. Wearing the black and colored uniforms on the other side. Just a splash of paint for the Capitals as they will break the huddle and take the floor once again. 2:59 to play in the contest. Here in the first quarter of the contest, I should say. Out on the floor, we'll have John Walker. Walker out there with Khalifa, Cobb, Scott. And there's your fifth player coming out. It's Suttles. That'll be out there as well. Free throws coming up here at the line. Preston Whitfield, where he is an 82% free throw shooter this season. That is called the broadcaster's jinx. Misses the front end of it. Whitfield out of Central Baptist College in St. Louis, Missouri native. 6'1", the 26-year-old shooting guard at the line for his second. That one will drop in. Whitfield had 27 points in the win over the Electric, the Great Falls team, in their last game on Saturday. 26-20, down to a 6-point game, but sailing to the rim, and a good finish there on the take by John Walker. Down to 2:40 to play in the first period. In the lane, stop, turn around, spin to his right and finish. Flushing it through is Salem Maduakor. On the right side, Scott, jump pass in the lane, taken away by the Caps. Racing up the near side with the basketball, Cleveland sends it out to the far side. A three, Whitfield, look out. You cannot let him start heating up. Whitfield drains that corner three to make it a 3-point game. 28-25, 2:05 to play here in the opening quarter. Right side, thought about the three, driving in Walker from the right, blocks, turns around, and that one will get the home roll here at the Titan Coliseum. Walker buries out one, stretches it back out to that 5-point lead. Holding off the charge by the Capitals here to end the first quarter around Cobb. Toss back out. Whitfield, the left wing three. No. Rebound. Pulled down by the Caps. Lost it out of bounds. A whistle. Foul called. I thought maybe lost out of bounds. They whistled for a foul. Driving in was Cleveland. Devontae Cleveland, I think, will be headed to the free throw line. Is going to be the case here. Cleveland getting the foul call. Cleveland at the line. For Palmdale, California, the Bushnell University product. That is Bushnell University here in Eugene. Shooting 78% from the free throw line, but so far, free throws not been kind to the Capitals in this early going. Whitfield missing the front end of his earlier. Now Cleveland, who shoots 78%. This is the front end of that one. The second attempt coming. He knocks it down. 4-point ball game, 30-26, a minute and a half to go in this one. Crawling back out, looking for help. Right side, Walker back out to Boykin. He drives left side, off the glass, a bit off the mark. Rebound easily down, up the floor. Will come Cleveland, goes right to the rim from the left side. Off the glass, banks it in, up the floor. Here goes Boykin looking to attack as he weaves his way through the defense. It's a 2-point ball game, 30-28. Back out to Scott to reset in the half court. Shot clock down to 10 with 1:04 to go in the first period. Boykin around a screen. They get the switch. Out to the left side, head fake. Got to try and get a shot up here quick. Driving in, Scott puts it up and he flushes it in. 4-point ball game, and we get a official's timeout. 32-28, a 4-point ball game with 51.4. Basketball got away, so they will stop the clock and reset it here for the Capitals. We'll have the ball. Could go for a chance at a 2-for-1 if they can move quickly here. It'll be Tyreek Price who's into the game, sends it up the floor. Going left side into the corner with the basketball. Maduakor lost it, up the floor, two-hand flush. Able to finish it. That is Brandon Suttles on the dunk to make it a 6-point game. A strong finish of the first quarter. A tie-up jump ball. Bob got his hand in there to tie up. Devontae Cleveland gets tied up trying to attack on the right side. The jump ball possession arrow looks like it'll favor Salem. Oh, excuse me. I'm used with a little background in history. I spend a lot of my time calling high school basketball. They don't do a jump ball. They have a possession arrow. We're going to get a jump ball at the free throw line. Cobb tips it, goes towards his own bench. It's collected by Boykin. He'll weave his way up the floor and a whistle. Salem. That foul called, I believe, on Jameel Tolbert. So it'll be an inbound near midcourt for Boykin. There's delay in the action here. Now we're ready to go. Boykin will inbound it. 25 seconds on the game clock, 20 on the shot clock. Looking to the bench, Boykin will get the direction from Coach Thomas Bullock. 12 seconds. There's about a 4-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. Cobb looked to set a screen, now backs off. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Boykin, spin to his right, makes the bounce off to Cobb, and his shot won't fall. He was right at the rim, it wouldn't go. It spins out. 1 second, a three at the horn off the mark for Tyreek Price. And we go to the end of the first quarter. Your score, 34-28. The Emerald City Jaguars in front of the Salem Capitals. Strong start for the Jags as they seek that first win of the season. Ah, boy, fun first 12 minutes as we get introduced, at least I get introduced into Jaguars basketball in the TBL here tonight. The Jaguars would like to acknowledge another one of their sponsors, Heritage Distillery, that is. Heritage Distillery, a proud sponsor of the Emerald City Jaguars. HDC makes vodkas, gins, and whiskeys, and is proud to operate distillery tasting rooms in Washington and Oregon, including Gig Harbor, Roslyn, and Tumwater. in Washington and Eugene Madison and Eugene 5th Street Market here in Oregon. That is Heritage Distillery. We've got Nathan, our sideline reporter. We're going to get a chance to see if he can glean any insight into what these two teams are looking to do. I'm Joey Kieran. Thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight here on TBL TV for your broadcast of the Basketball League. It's the Emerald City Jaguars and the Salem Capitals squaring off. The Capitals 3-2 on the season, coming in on a 3-game winning streak. They've been hot. The Jaguars trying to snap that 4-game losing skid to start out their first season in the TBL.
Real quick.
We're going to get a chance to check in with Nathan, our sideline reporter. As he sets up, he leaned into some stuff.
So this is the first Jaguars lead of their entire their first season. They're all business. So it's all business. Coach Bullock is telling them exactly what to do. They're not celebrating for a second. They know the job's not done. That's it.
All right. Thank you, Nathan, on the check-in there on the sideline. First lead. So, nothing to really scoff at right there. They are looking to try and continue to build on this, leading by 6. Try and check in on some stats here for you throughout this one. But big thing so far to me standing out is keeping Preston Whitfield in control. Whitfield, the 26-year-old, averaging over 20 points a game, shoots 50% from the three-point line, coming off of 27 points in their last game last week. And been a bit of a quieter start for him as the game has gotten underway. But here we go, second quarter action for you from Titan Coliseum in beautiful Eugene, Oregon on this Thursday night. Bringing the ball up the floor, the Capitals will have it with Tyreek Price out there running the point. Back out to the top for Paul Hafford. Hafford initiating things and drawing a whistle. Well, there's one thing that makes me feel good. Well, actually, maybe it shouldn't make me feel good. Paul Hafford out there still balling at the ripe old age of 40 years old. I turned 40 this year myself, and I wouldn't last one time down the court. Paul Hafford out there balling out, still averaging 12.6 points per game. He'll shoot the first free throw, makes it. He is still 100% at the charity stripe on the season with that first make. And with that, he makes it a 5-point ball game. Second free throw coming up for him. Does not. They may not invite me back, although thankfully it's going for the opposing team. The Jags might love to have me back here. The broadcaster's jinx in full effect. First miss of the season for Hafford at the free throw line. He makes the third as he was fouled in the act of shooting that three. Gets 2 out of the 3. Makes it a 4-point ball game as we get early in the second quarter. Around a screen to the free throw line. Tried to dump it underneath. Ball taken away from Walker. 1-on-2. Can't finish. Through some contact underneath for Price, but able to get the ball back in transition. Working his way, muscling in to lay it in off the glass. Jamil Tolbert. 2-point ball game. That is a quick 4-0 start to the second period for the Caps. Out at the top with it. Fletcher. He'll pull up for a long 2 from the high school three-point lane. No. Rebound underneath. Stolen away by Suttles. He finds Cobb, who makes his way, dices to the right side of the iron, lays it off the glass, and a much-needed 2 to stop that early 4-0 run by the Capitals. The Jags just got to keep up the pressure. Crossover, right hand, got in, tried to throw it up, tipped out of bounds by Cobb. It'll stay with the Caps. Driving in the middle. Cleveland got off balance, tried to throw up a shot, but it got sent right back in his face. Inbound from the baseline for the Caps, back out to the top. With it, Price, right side, pulls up for the jumper. It's off. Rebound tipped up. It'll stay with the Capitals. Price, another look. A 3 on the left side. This time, no. And it's Fletcher with the board. Stop the try. And then he gets a foul as he tries to put it out in transition. Was looking to turn up floor and really keep the pace moving. And for the Jags, that's a golden opportunity to try and really attack this Capitals team is just keep the momentum going and keep the Caps running. They lead it by 4 at 36-32 as we hit the 10.5-minute mark in this second quarter. Fletcher, crossover left hand, driving in, backs his way in, tried to make the pass around the defense to Cobb in the middle, and it's taken away by Price. Sends it up the floor around the defender. A one-handed whip pass to the far side of the floor. A ton of contact. Knocked out of bounds by Cobb. Cobb knocked it out of the hands of Cleveland. Cleveland looking for a whistle, didn't get there. Right in front of us here at the baseline, and there was some decent contact underneath, but no whistle. Stays with the Caps inbound to the left corner. Drawing it out, circling in, stop, back out to the top. Maduakor gives it away and his pass out, up the floor, the finger roll and the foul. G. Boykin will get the 2 and has a chance at the 3-point play. The foul goes on Price. Boykin to the free throw line. 65% shooter at the stripe. They'll send him the basketball. He's got a chance to stretch it back out to a 7-point lead. Can't get it. Back of the iron. It has been Jags all the way so far. Ooh, almost a travel on the backcourt. It's been Jags all the way so far in this one leading. Hafford gives up the basketball. And coming out to the top to run the point in the front court will be Price. Angling from the left side, sends it into the corner, launching a 3, back iron. Nobody underneath except for Jags after the miss by Tolbert. Boykin left side, spins back to his right around a screen, stopped at the elbow, bounce it down to Cobb, gets it back, has a look at the 3, buries it. And Boykin will get another one. He's got 5 quick points there, and it's back out to a 9-point lead for the Jags. Been able to sustain the runs by the Capitals and hold on to their lead. Hafford driving in. He throws up the teardrop, gets knocked to the floor, looks for a whistle, doesn't get it, but he does get the 2. 41-34. Down to 9:08 to play here in the first half. Looking to attack, find a head of steam, but cut off. Whip it out to the right side. A 3 by Fletcher, front iron. Rebound underneath, pulled down by the Capitals. With that, Maduakor brings it up. Crossover to the right hand, looks to attack, stops, spins back to his right, gets cut off, and will send it out. Gets it in the corner. Maduakor, the 3 from the left side. No. Underneath, Fletcher had it, but lost it. Knocked across the baseline out of the hands for Fletcher. He's got a smile on his face. He knows, dang it, we had the stop. We gave it back. 8:45 to play in the first half. 7-point lead for the Jags. Coach Thomas Bullock looking for his first win as the head coach of the Jags. Attacking with the left hand, hanging in the lane and finishing. Devontae Cleveland makes it a 5-point game, 41-36. Jump stop at the free throw line, give it away. Out to the left side, settles a deep 3, misses everything, catches a bit of glass. Right down to Maduakor, who brings it up. Back out, Hafford will launch the 3. Off the left iron, no, but underneath, rebound, offensive board for Tolbert. He finds Hafford cutting, and a swat at the iron is knocked away by Suttles, but it goes right back out to the Capitals. Maduakor has it knocked out of his hands, and he'll draw a whistle. Boy, Hafford really wanted the whistle there on a goaltend. As he continues to argue his case, now will walk away. He'll make his case with a different official here tonight. I didn't get a great look on whether or not that ball was pinned against the glass or not, but the whistle doesn't go. Instead, it'll be free throws here for Salem Maduakor. Maduakor will set up. He is able to hit the first, and he continues to stay perfect at the free throw line. Makes it a 4-point game, 8:06 to play in the second quarter. One more free throw attempt coming up here for the Caps. Maduakor breaks my broadcaster's jinx, hits them both, stays perfect at the line. 3-point ball game, 8:02 here in the first half to go. Boykin will walk it across the timeline, bounce it away, gets it right back in the corner, looks to drive baseline, had it poked away from the backside. The call is that it'll stay with the Jags. Front of the Capitals bench. Inbound, taken away. Up the floor. Foreman. Devontae Cleveland will get the Capitals fans in attendance on their feet. And it makes it a 1-point game, 41-40. The Capitals battling their way back. They were down by 9 just a couple of moments ago. Fighting for position out at the top of the arc. A whistle. That was Kadir Croston trying to set up at the top of the arc. And the whistle comes against the Caps. It'll stay with the Jags here on the near sideline. 7.5 to play. Inbound goes to Q. Croston will send it out to Boykin. Around the screen from Q. They look for the pick and roll. Not there. Tipped away. Salem will knock it out of bounds with 8 on the shot clock. From the baseline. Triggered out to the top. Q got tied up. No whistle. Breakaway here for Salem. And letting the defense fly by. And then an easy lay-in for Tolbert gives the Salem Capitals their first lead of the night. 42-41. Down to about 7 to go here in the first half. The Jags got to stem the tide. Fletcher pulls up for the left elbow jumper and buries it to put Emerald City back in front. Up on the left side, driving in. Cleveland gets his shot blocked by Boykin. In transition, got tied up. Khalifa gets a whistle. He received the basketball, got hit as he tried to transition into making his way up the floor. Whistle against Salem, and that gives us a stop in the action. 6:48 to go in the first half. Our score 43-42. The Jags back in front after the Capitals got their first lead of the game. We're going to head it on down to the sideline to check in with our sideline reporter, Nathan, who is setting up over there. And let's send it on over to Nathan.
So the Jaguars came into the second quarter with a huge lead, but it seems like the Capitals are starting to bounce back. Score is currently 43-42. We'll see how the Jaguars recover.
All right, thank you, Nathan. It has been a strong couple of about 5 minutes off the clock here in the second quarter for the Caps to get them back in this game. Head coach Kevin Johnson Jr. looking to instruct them on the bench here at this media timeout. While we've got a break in the action, the Jaguars would like to thank Griffin Homes for being a proud sponsor of the Emerald City Jaguars. And also, the Jaguars would like to thank the Eugene Chamber of Commerce for being a supporter of Jaguars basketball. Good crowd here tonight for a little bit of Jags basketball, a little TBL basketball for you here tonight. Taking a look at our latest scoring or stat update for you here in the second quarter. Leading scorer for the Jags right now, G. Boykin. He has come alive here in the second quarter and has 11 points for the Jags. Second leading scorer, second leading scorer is going to be Kadir Croston with 10. On the other side, leading the way for the Capitals with 7 points, that would be Devontae Cleveland, who had a big second period. 6 points in the game for Joseph Dillinger Jr., all back in the first quarter. For Preston Whitfield, hasn't quite gotten going yet. Only 4 points in this one. Also, didn't see this down at the bottom of the box score. Salem Madakor has 7 points here in this first half of tonight's contest. 6:48 to play out of the stoppage. It was a foul on Salem. It'll be Jaguars basketball leading by 1, 43-42. Jaguars moving left to right in the yellow jerseys. Hesitation, skip step out at the top. Angling right side, handed off. Fletcher out to the top, pass tipped, and out of bounds into the scorer's table. Stays with the Jags. Yeah. Oh, he's there. Players checking in, not looking inbound. Thought that the Capitals thought they were going to get a chance to inbound that one. Coming in, Mo Smith into the ball game. And also in, I believe that is Dominic Lawrence. Damo into the game. Looking to attack left side. Khalifa sends it back out. Scott with it. Jab step right, goes left. The high teardropper won't fall underneath. Lawrence with the board. Sporting the face mask. He'll run the point, brings it across the timeline. Hands it off. Cleveland crossover, spin, back out. Driving left hand. Matacor in, hangs, can't get the reverse, but gets the whistle. Underneath Khalifa. Trying to say, I was straight up, man. Straight up. The officials see it slightly differently. This Jaguars team, 43 points with 6:10 to go. They are staying true to right around their scoring average, but they have done a nice job of holding Salem in check on theirs. See how the final 6 minutes of this first half goes. First free throw goes down for Maduakor, excuse me. Maduakor drains the first one to tie us up. Has a chance to give him the lead. He continues to stay perfect at the free throw line. And with his second free throw, nails another one to put Salem back in front. 44-43, Capitals in front, 6:04 to go. Khalifa picks up the dribble, gets it to Scott. Left hand, driving, going to take it all the way himself. Double clutch in the air, finishes on the left side of the iron and puts the Jags back in front, 45-44. Bounce across or down the far sideline, enter it in. Looking to back his way in. Smith gets tied up in the middle, just throws it up. He can't get it to fall. He was just looking for some help and decides, you know what, I'll just take it myself. Draws that whistle and gets a chance to go to the free throw line with 5:39 to play here in the first half. March Madness time. NCAA tournament going on today. Have heard some stunning results as the evening games are going on. Oakland upsetting, hopefully your brackets aren't busted, Kentucky knocked out the first 3 seed out on a big one there. Oregon Ducks here in the Eugene market, of course, at the University of Oregon. They pick up a win in their opening game, and 11-6, a win against South Carolina to move on to the second round. Big night for Jermaine Kuzno. First free throw didn't go for Smith. Second one will rim out as well. Rebound underneath. Pulled down by Worthy. Still a Jags lead after the empty trip to the line for the Capitals. 45-44. Fletcher driving in. Wild shot. Tried to get a whistle. Couldn't get it. Throw up the floor in transition. Out of bounds. Back to the Jags. 5:21 to go in the first half. Jags will have the basketball in front of the scorer's table. Trying to stretch back out their lead. It was as much as 9 here in the second quarter, as Nathan was telling us just a little while ago. It's been a nice run by the Caps, but the nice thing for the Jags is they have not given in to the Salem Capitals. They've been able to keep up with them despite giving up that 9-point lead. Leading by 1 right now, 5:16 to go. Around a screen, mid-range jumper, short. Long rebound into the far corner. Pulled down by the Caps. Bring the ball up the floor. Billinger. No look into the far corner. Through the legs as it went through the hands. Driving in. Cleveland gets a whistle. And what almost could have been a travel as he tried to jump step around a defender. I think all of the Emerald City players are thinking, could have been a travel. Should have been a travel. Capitals thinking, yeah, that's a whistle for the foul. It'll send Cleveland to the free throw line. Couple of Bushnell University guys on the Salem Capitals roster. Bushnell in Eugene as well. Devontae Cleveland, one of them. I thought that was the case. Oh, maybe it's one for the Jaguars as well as for the Capitals. Also have Western Oregon and Corbin College in there. A couple of Oregon schools. Got free throws coming up here for the Capitals. Coach Kevin Johnson over there stares on from the bench. His assistant coach, Cody Brock. They've got him rolling right now with the 3-game winning streak, trying to keep that going. They tie it back up at 45 all with 5:02 to go as Devontae Cleveland hits the free throw, and he's got a chance to put the Caps back in front. They have not led by more than just a one-possession game in this one so far. Second free throw spins up and through. Back in front by a point goes Salem. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. As Fletcher walks it through the center circle. Pass away right side to Boykin. At the wing, left hand, back to the right hand. Pull up three. Oh, back iron, no. Rebound tipped, out of bounds. And it'll stay with the Jags. Emerald City will get a second look at it here. 14 on the shot clock as they inbound from the baseline. Got to get somebody moving. Out to the top to Fletcher. Beyond the arc. Left side. Draws it out a step. We'll get it to Boykin. Driving right hand. Back out to the left side. Fletcher for a three. Off the front iron. Tip up on the rebound. No foul on the rebound attempt. Fighting for position underneath. That is Worthy. Marv will pick up his second. As he will get called for going over the back on the rebound attempt, and we walk the other direction. The Capitals are in the bonus. Will earn free throws here. Heading to the line is Isaiah Gentry. 86% free throw shooter. Averaging over 18 points per game. It feels like the Jags have been able to keep the Caps in check here tonight. So far, a lot of these guys have not gotten to that hot level that they've been so far to start out this season for Salem. But they are trying to get there here. They've woken up in this second quarter. Gentry hit the first, extends it to a 2-point lead. Second free throw, knocks it down. 3-point game. Salem outscoring Emerald City here in the second quarter. Jags trying to finish the period off hot, much like they did at the end of the first quarter. Right side, Boykin looks to attack, weaves around the defense, draws three defenders, tried to pass, but it got tipped. Does stay with the Jaguars. Baseline, put up the one hand, push shot, no. Rebound, offensive board, and it's good. Underneath, Kevin Fletcher got the loose ball, sent it up over the outstretched arm of the defense to knock it down and make it a 1-point game. 48-47, Salem in front, backing in. It's Gentry, tries to send it through the defense, ball knocked into the backcourt, diving for it. And loose ball still. And they're going to give it back to Salem. Both sides arguing a case that the call should have gone their direction. Salem was looking for a whistle on a foul on Emerald City trying to get that loose ball. I guess they'll have to settle for possession. Emerald City was trying to say that ball last touched by the Capitals. There's only 7 on the shot clock, so Emerald City's going to put pressure on in the backcourt. Racing up the floor, toss across the timeline, a deep three with 2 on the clock. Off the iron, but an offensive board stripped out of the hands. It'll go to the Jags. Underneath, good job on the offensive board for Smith, but Mo can't hang on to it. Stripped out by Boykin, and the Capitals last to touch it. Looking for the lead back, under 4 minutes to play. Fletcher tried to go with the Euro step through. Got tied up with the defender. That is Gentry who gets the whistle. And it will send Kevin Fletcher to the free throw line. He's a good guy to have there. 82% free throw shooter. Chance for Fletcher to give the lead back to the Jags. He ties it up. One more coming. Kevin Fletcher out of Detroit, Michigan, Mid-Atlantic Christian University. He does give the Jags the lead back. 49-48, 3:23 and counting. Around the screen right side, double team. Toss back out to the top. A three off the left iron underneath. Rebound, but a lost ball. Gentry nearly had the takeaway. The three was off the mark there by Smith. And then a foul. I believe Gentry gets whistled for that one. That's quick 2 fouls on Gentry here in the second quarter. They had, it'll be Marv. It'll be Marv shooting the free throws here. Let's see here. Gentry I believe that's 3 fouls on Gentry here in this first half. Worthy at the line, makes the first out of Brookdale Community College, averaging 8.3 a game. Second free throw for Worthy off the right iron. He gets 1 out of 2, and he's no longer perfect at the line for the season. 2-point ball game. Jags back in front. They've been going back and forth here with the Capitals in the second period. Capitals weave the ball around the perimeter, driving in, hanging. Whitfield gets the contact, can't get the bucket. He'll get the opportunity at free throws. 2:59 to go in the second quarter when we get a timeout down on the floor. With 2:59 to go in the first half, our media timeout gives us an opportunity to talk about our sponsors, Excel Electric. Home to your local electrical service specialists, Excel Electric has served as the highly rated electrical contractors in the Willamette Valley. Locally owned and operated, the electricians are driven to provide exceptional electrical services with a focus on customer satisfaction and a pride for efficient electrical solutions. Excel Electric's licensed technicians will stop at nothing to ensure that you are treated with the highest quality electrical service. Their ultimate goal is to continue to expand their community service by continuing to provide quality electrical solutions to their neighbors and local business owners. If you have any questions about Excel Electric and their services, don't hesitate to get in touch with them. Visit them at excel-electric.com. At the timeout here, they've got some shenanigans going on out on the floor. Great to see them get the fans involved. With 2:59 to go. Taking a look at some of our first half stats here at the media timeout. Right now, leading scorer still remains G. Boykin. Although, looks like scores a little incomplete here, but Boykin, 11, listed as the leading scorer. And Q. Croston also still in double figures for the Jags. On the other side, it is Devontae Cleveland with 9. So is Salem Naduakor. Naduakor with 9 points in this one. And number of players with 4 points in this first half for Salem. 8 points in the game for Kevin Fletcher at the moment. 2:59 to go as the teams will be back out on the floor. Well, here's those critical moments they always talk about. The last 4, first 4. Going into the locker room, you want to finish strong. You want to come out of the locker room, finish strong. Here's that opportunity for the Jags, who are in a position they haven't been in much throughout this season so far, leading and contending with a team. They've got an opportunity to head to the locker room at halftime and possibly build up a lead against the Capitals. But Salem does have free throws coming here. At the line is going to be Preston Whitfield, who, as we know, a very good free throw shooter. Out of the timeout, he does hit the first. Makes it a 1-point game, has a chance to tie it up. One more coming. Whitfield hits them both. Out on the floor, Joshua Jones, G. Boykin, Kevin Fletcher out there. Also Q. Croston on the floor. There's another 5th guy out there over in the corner. There's Dante Scott out there. Scott is the one who pulls up for the baseline jumper. Missed everything. It's pulled down by the Caps. A pass across the floor. Whitfield. The defender falls down. Offensive charge. Offensive foul there against Whitfield. Turns it back over with the game tied at 50. On the floor for the Caps, Mo Smith, Preston Whitfield, Isaiah Gentry out there. So is Joseph Bellinger Jr. Bounce pass right side. Boykin. Bounce it away to Q. working on the right side. Gives it up. Scott. They call an illegal screen on Q. Trying to get Scott free. But whistle on Q for the moving screen. Also out there on the floor, Damo Lawrence for the Caps. Step back, long two, off the mark, long rebound out, pulled down by Fletcher, racing up the floor, going to look to take it himself, steps around, and he lays it in, and he'll put the Jags back in front, 52-50. Under 2 minutes to go in the opening half of tonight's ball game. Backing it out, Gentry sends it left side. Entry in by Lawrence, taken away by Q, and here it is, that chance to try and finish off the first half strong for the Jags, down to a minute 43. Holding out at the top with it is Boykin. One hand pass, left side, almost threw it away. Fletcher has it. They dribble around a screen. The two players tied up there. Open in the corner, a three. Buried it in. Josh Jones will nail that one to make it a 5-point game. And the three-point shooting for the Jags started good. They hadn't hit one for a while. They get that big one there. Entry pass tipped, but it does make it to its mark. Backing his way in is Smith, and he barrels over the defender. Taking the charge will be Scott. None too pleased, head coach Kevin Johnson for the Capitals. Has to watch as his team turns it back over to the Jags, who have a chance to really finish this first half on a run. They're on a 5-0 run at the moment, leading 55-50. Down to 63 seconds to play in the first half. Going right side, got a good screen, got free, took a ton of contact, no whistle, bucket no good for Boykin. Pulled down by Maduakor. Passes it away as he makes his way up the far sideline. Whitfield goes right side, jump stop, throws it up, he rattles it down. Just flipped it at the iron and gets it to drop in. 3-point ball game, 40 seconds to play. Up the far side, handed back. Scott, right-hand dribble, goes right into just a wall of black jerseys, and he'll get called for the charge. Turns it back over to the Capitals. 33.5 seconds left to work with for Salem. It's a 55-52 lead for the Jags right now, and now the momentum possibility change in favor of Salem. Can the Capitals finish out the first half strong? 3 to tie it. 2 to get within 1. A quick 3 from the top off the mark by Dillinger. Rebound, a nice job getting the stop for the Jags. Out at the top. Boykin looking to try and get the final shot here are the Jags. James is going to pull up for a 3. Left iron, high off the rim, pulled down by Maduakor. 8 seconds to go. Shot clock turned off. And now it's the Caps with a chance to tie it on a 3 as we go to halftime. Driving in, Whitfield gets to the rim. He'll lay it in, and it's a 1-point game going to the break. Preston Whitfield, the soft touch at the rim, lays it in, and it is, wait just 1 second. They're going to put 1.1 on the clock. 1.1 second left on the clock. It's a 55-54 score. The Jags will have a chance to try and heave one at the buzzer. Inbound. And the Jags will just hold. They'll go into the locker room leading 55-54. A good first half here for the Emerald City Jaguars, who are looking to try and capitalize on a strong start for their first win of the season. Jaguars leading 55-54 on top of the Salem Capitals. We're going to go down to the floor for a quick talk with Coach Bullock.
The quarter was a little more dominant. The second quarter's been a little more back and forth. What are you gonna tell your team to kind of capture that magic?
We got to attack the mismatches a little bit more. They're switching on our post. We need to, slow down. Look at our post and throw it in. See if we can get them to double. See if we can force them to have the X out on some passes. But that's what I think. We just got to attack them down a little bit more.
So this is if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time the team's going into the half with a lead. Are you guys? What are you gonna tell them? Just keep the energy. Are you gonna anything different in the
Energy is not our word. Connectivity is our word. when we play connected on offense and defense, we're a real good team. We're a hard team to beat. So that's our thing, is being connected.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck.
That is Nathan, our sideline reporter down there. I'll find out his last name because I want to give him the full recognition I can. Nathan with the coach interview there with Coach Thomas Bullock after a first half that goes in favor of the Jaguars, leading 55-54 here on TBL TV. We'll get some halftime stats here coming up for you in just a few, but take a break and we'll check back in with you here in a couple of minutes along the TBL TV.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Game. Right side's our winner. Right side won.
Well, we're getting ready for the start of the second half in today's contest between your Emerald City Jaguars and the Salem Capitals. I'm Joey Kieran, taking a look here quickly at your halftime statistics for the Emerald City Jaguars. Leading scorer in that first half was G. Boykin with 11. Also 10 points in the first half for Kevin Fletcher. And also 10 points in the first half for Hugh Croston. And that is some of your leading scorers in the first half of the ballgame for the Jags. On the other side, in double figures, leading scorer for for the Capitals, I should say. That was Preston Whitfield, who is leading the way with 10 points for the Capitals. Some of the team numbers here: shooting 44% from the floor for the Jags, 43.2% from the floor for the Caps. Impressive number here, and this give credit to the defense, or maybe just out cold here tonight for the Capitals, but only 2 of 13 from behind the arc in the first half for Salem, a team that shoots it pretty well. Made 15 three-pointers in their last game. On the other side, 5 of 14 from behind the arc for the Jags. Not necessarily a huge improvement, but it is better than Salem, and that has helped keep Emerald in this one. But the big thing that really helped spur the comeback for the Salem Capitals, they go 16 for 21 in the first half at the free throw line, whereas the Jaguars were just 6 of 8 at the stripe. A huge difference there. 10 more points, and that helps get the Capitals back in this game in the second quarter. Rebounding numbers very heavily favoring Salem as well. 30-18, they have the advantage. The turnover battle in favor of the Jaguars. The Capitals, 11 turnovers, only 9 for Emerald City. Foul numbers, as you might expect, with the free throw discrepancy in favor of Salem. 14 fouls in the first half against the Jaguars, 11 against the Capitals. Largest lead in the game for the Jaguars was 9 points. On the other side for Salem, just a 3-point lead, their largest in the game. It's going to be a critical couple of minutes here to start out the second half for the Emerald City Jaguars to try and keep themselves in front of the Salem Capitals as they look to get that first win of the season. Second half just about to get underway in the black and color jersey. I can't pick out just one. You got pinks, you got orange, you got blue, you got white. It is splattered all over the jerseys for the Capitals. They are in the black and color jerseys. Yellow, green, white, blue on the other side for the Jaguars. Mainly the yellow jerseys there for the Jags, the home team here tonight at Titans Coliseum. It'll be Salem basketball to start out the second half. 12 minutes on the board. We get underway. Third quarter action here from Lane Community College in Eugene. Left side, Whitfield trying to get going and add to his double-digit point total. Throws it high off the glass as he falls down, and the rebound pulled away by Dante Scott up the floor. Right side, a three buries in for G. Boykin. He's trying to get going to start the second half. 58-54, attacking on the outlet, leaking out down the right side of the floor. Got behind everybody. A whistle. He's still on the ground. Trying to identify the player there. That is Preston Whitfield. He got down out there beyond everybody. Leaking down the floor. The Jaguars defense got back, but they could not keep from committing the foul. And with 11:34 to go here in the third quarter, Whitfield at the line knocks down the first to make it a 3-point game. Just 26 seconds off the clock so far here in the second half. Second free throw does go in. And so Whitfield hits them both to take us back to a 2-point ball game. Defensive pressure as they get to the half-court stripe for the Jags. Boykin trying to dribble away from it. Gets a screen by Worthy. Back to Worthy at the free throw line. To the left side, Fletcher, jab step, drives, kick across the lane into the right corner. Baseline, back out to Fletcher, drives in, got it knocked out of his hands, and it's a shot clock violation. He couldn't get the shot off in time as the defense held him up, and Coach Bullock, he is arguing that should have been a foul, and his argument draws him a technical. Technical free throws coming on the other side for Salem. Coach Bullock there trying to argue there should have been a whistle for a foul on the attempt there by Fletcher. Trying to say the defense got him across the arms, and that's why he couldn't get a shot off. It was a a shot clock penalty. And now the technical following that sends Joseph Billinger, the junior, to the free throw line. Dan Patrick show fans can understand why I might want to call him Joseph Billinger Jr. the third, as DP likes to do. Almost did it there. Billinger Jr. brings the ball up the floor through the center circle, sends it right side. With the basketball is Gentry, left-hand dribble to Whitfield on the left wing. He'll dribble around a screen, gets to the free throw line with the offhand, keeps the defense off him, puts up the right-hand scoop shot, draws the whistle as he gets knocked to the floor once again. And whistles coming here early against the Jaguars, and that's what we saw, a trend in the first half, and the trend continuing here in the second half. Not ideal for the Jaguars, but they still hang on to a 1-point lead at the moment. Back to the free throw line is Whitfield, not a guy you want to send to the stripe on purpose. That first one goes through as he ties us up. $10:50 to go in the third quarter. Second free throw, Whitfield rattles in. Into the game, Jameel Tolbert has checked, that is Damo Lawrence who's checked in for Salem. Fletcher with it in the left corner, trying to dribble away from pressure. Gentry marking him. Between the legs, dribble left side, cradle it in, make the dump to the weak side attack and bringing that one. A whistle stops play. It's going to stay with Salem there. That bucket good for Brandon Suttles. So it stays with Salem. Back in front goes the Emerald City Jaguars. Gentry back to the left hand, trying to back his way in, turn around, pulls up for the mid-range jumper. No, rebound tipped. It'll make its way to the right side of the floor, picked up by Billinger Jr., hands it off to Gentry, kick left side. Lawrence, a corner three, knocks it down. And the Caps in front, 62-60 on the made three by Lawrence. Boykin backs his way in, head fake, driving Suttles, gets to the iron. His teardrop, no. A whistle, count the bucket, and a foul as Suttle, he was on the ground, looked to be in some pain. My attention drawn to the player on the floor who looked to be dinged up, but the ball continued to play. The rebound went to Scott. And Dante Scott got the bucket and a whistle. They give him credit for that teardrop bucket that fell through. Coach Johnson looking for, I think, a bit of an explanation, not really seeming to get one that is going to appease him. And then we got a delay a game warning apparently against the Jags. I hear from the PA. Everybody's pointing and hollering out on the floor. Game is tied at 62, and Scott at the line to try and put the Jags back in front once again. His free throw won't fall. Underneath the rebound, pulled down by Lawrence. Fighting off Croston for the board. Billinger gets it to Whitfield. Buries his head, drives in. A wild shot drops in, and he'll go to the line for the three-point play. The two teams getting a bit more aggressive on the defensive side. We're getting a lot more whistles here as the third quarter gets underway. It's back to a 2-point lead for Salem. As to the free throw line will go Whitfield, the St. Louis, Missouri native. Leading scorer for the Capitals. Starting to heat up as the game goes on. It was a bit of a slow start for him, but he's starting to find his buckets and his points. Foul called. As bringing the ball up, that was Boykin on the attack, draws the whistle. 3-point game, 65-62 in favor of the Capitals. That matches their largest lead of the ball game. Inbound from the far sideline. Boykin will trigger it in at the end of the scorer's table. And they may be looking to discuss the shot clock. Official at the scorer's table to get everything straightened away. There's 21 on the shot clock right now, but they blew a whistle. I believe it was a foul against Salem. I mean, ball stays with the Jaguars, so I figured foul against Salem. I would think that would reset the shot clock. Emerald City Jaguars, again, looking for that first win of the season. Conference still going on at the scorer's table. 21 seconds on the shot clock, just so you know. 9:38 and counting here in the third quarter. Inbound play does not work. Can't get it to fall for Boykin. It worked great. They got the shot they wanted, but they couldn't get the bucket. And then almost a steal for Suttles. But he gets whistled for the foul. So he took that one away from Billinger Jr. On the right side, bounce it underneath, backing his way in. Travel call. The whistle is Mo Smith. A couple too many steps there, backing his way underneath the basket. 3-point game in favor of the Capitals. Jaguars looking to try and respond here. Boykin working against Billinger. Sidesteps his way across the timeline, angles to the left side. Was looking for the cut to the rim and didn't get it and didn't recognize it in time. Trapped on the baseline. Croston made a nice move. Fake to his left, rolled back to his right to the baseline, got underneath and wraps it around for two. 8:55 to play here in the third quarter. Back within one for the Jags. Croston tries to tip away the entry pass. It goes back to Whitfield. He drives in. His shot off the right iron, pulled down by Q. Up the floor, right side of three. Oh, it's just short. Looked right on line for Dante Scott, but it comes up short. Billinger going all the way across the floor. Pass out to Whitfield. No. Fight for the board. It's won by Smith. He dribbles the pass out to the far corner, easily driving baseline 4-2. And Whitfield stretches it back out to the 3-point lead for the Capitals. Into the front court, double team on the sideline. Pass out to Q, taken away by Gentry, and he'll throw it down. Isaiah Gentry with the steal and the flush with 8:03 to go. It's 69-64, a 5-point lead for the Capitals as the Jags starting to show a little fatigue here as this third quarter goes on. And Coach Bullock fired up out there trying to get some inspiration into his team. Right now he's out there talking with his coaches. He's fired up. Got to love the spirit and energy out of Coach Thomas Bullock for the Jaguars in their first season, taking over the team here. They're trying to end a 4-game losing skid. Salem Capitals coming in on a 3-game winning streak, and they are starting to pull ahead just a bit here, up by 5.
I thought that was going to get there.
8:03 to go here in the third quarter with that timeout down on the floor taken by the Jaguars. I think maybe a little bit of frustration, I think, there for the Jaguars on that last play, the steal and the dunk by Isaiah Gentry. It was Q who had gotten the basketball, but then the defense came in and poked that ball away from him, but with a lot of contact. And it had been a contact foul like that not that long ago called against the Jaguars, and I think they're looking for a little reciprocation from the officials on that play. Out of the timeout, I believe it'll be Emerald City basketball here at the Titans Coliseum in Eugene. TBL action for you tonight in the Pacific Northwest Division. Right now sitting in third place are the Capitals. On the floor, Fletcher, Cobb, Khalifa. So Fletcher, Cobb, Khalifa. You've got Suttles and Scott, I believe, out there for the Jaguars out of the timeout. Assuming that's Boykin. Scott is on the bench. Inbound is for the Jaguars. And we are ready to go. You've got Smith, Whitfield, Bellinger Jr., Lawrence, and Gentry out on the floor for the Caps. Right side, attacking with the right-hand dribble. Draw back out for Boykin. Gives it away right side. Pull-up jumper along 2. Rims off. Trying to go in for the offensive putback. Subtle. Man, that guy can fly, but he flies in over the top of the defense. Damo Lawrence. He draws the whistle on Suttles, who came skying in from the backside. And Suttles will check out of the game after the foul call. 69-64, 7:40 to play here in the third quarter. They've been fighting from behind all game, have been the Caps, but they've got their biggest lead here. Almost a bucket to make it even bigger. One of the Jags players still on the other end of the floor got hit in the face. That is Cobb, and he is still in pain down there. And in the outlet, bucket good, Mo Smith. Cobb still, he didn't leave that end of the floor that entire time. The Jags came down, missed a shot, rebound down to the Caps. They went the other direction and scored. They lead it by 7, their largest lead. Fighting up a shot, no whistle. On the floor with his hands up is Fletcher. And now a foul called. Foul goes against Smith, it looks like. And he's heated about that whistle. Didn't think that was deserved. And free throws coming here inbound from the far sideline. Jaguars trailing by 7, their largest deficit. They've got to get some stuff going here. They've been a little frustrated by the defense of the Caps and looking to get a few more whistles in their favor. Screen. Lob towards the rim. Underneath. Easy. 2 for Q. Defender fell down, so he had the easy bucket. And it makes it a 5-point game. 71-66. Right side with it. Gentry. Right side dribble. Got free around the defender. Behind the back dribble. Lost it. Gets it back. Gives it up to Lawrence. Drives in. No. Rebound tipped around. It's picked up by the Jags in transition to the right side. Boykin pulls it back out. Whistle away from the play. Couple of players scuffling underneath. That was Croston down there mixing it up with Gentry. They stop play to separate the players for a moment. No fouls assessed. Inbound after the stoppage of the play. There's 10 seconds on the shot clock. Left hand, Fletcher to the top. Looking to back his way in. Squares it up now. Attacks right side. Gets bumped to the right side for a three. Boykin too long. Weak side rebound down to Lawrence. Almost dribbled it on the baseline. Keeps it inbounds. Gets it to Gentry, who brings it up. He'll pull up for the jumper. Spots it up from the three-point range. No. Rebound underneath. Taken away by Walker. John Walker finds the cutter. Fletcher to the rim. Had his shot blocked by Lawrence, who gets whistled. Fletcher gets a chance to go to the line. Nice vision there from the top by Walker. Finds the cutter. Fletcher heading to the rim. And Walker got a hand, or excuse me, Lawrence got a hand in there at the last minute to knock it around. But he does get whistled. Damo out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Got whistled for that foul. He's trying to talk to the official a little bit there, saying something about his mask got knocked loose. 5:51 to go here in this third quarter. 71-67 now on the made free throw by Fletcher. 4-point game. Jags got to get a run going here after Capitals pulled out by their largest lead at 7. Both free throws go through. 3-point ball game. 5:49 up the floor quickly. Got nobody marking Isaiah Gentry in the backcourt. And on the outlet pass after the made free throw, he gets an easy 2. Back out to a 5-point game. Crossover, left side for Boykin. Pulls up, left elbow jumper. Splashes it in. 73-70. Push it up the floor, right side. Billinger gets it back. Right wing 3, drains it. With Khalifa all up in his grill. Had the hands up in his face, but he could not deter the 3 there by Billinger Jr. And a carry call on the Jags. Boykin on the dribble gets called for the carry. That comes with 5:12 to go here in the third period. Inbound goes to Whitfield, catching the Jags a little out of position defensively. Pulls up left side jumper, no. A rebound tipped out. It's Boykin that comes up with it. He pulls up for the 3. That one off the front of the iron. No. Khalifa came skying in. The rebound loose. On the ground with it is Cobb. He gets it to Khalifa. Kicks out far side. Walker pulls up mid-range. Backboard, no. Rebound is collected by Smith. Couple of looks there for the Jags. They can't capitalize. Trailing by 6. 76-70. 4:39 and counting down. Pull up. Crossover, spot up, jumper good for Billinger Jr., who's heating up here in the third period late. Makes it an 8-point lead in favor of the Capitals. 4:25 and counting. Boykin harassed out at midcourt. Bounce it away. Fletcher hangs on to it at the wing. Drives in, got around the defender. That ball might have been tipped by Lawrence. Put back attempt by Cobb. Goes in. Cobb there to tip it in. Outlet up the 4. Baseball pass too strong for Lawrence. Throws it out across the far sideline. And they're going to bring it all the way back down to this side of the floor. The ball not touched. Yeah, they're going to bring it all the way back down to this side, saying the inbound pass was never touched. So it goes back to where it was sent in play. Jags will have it on their own baseline, underneath their own basket, trailing by 6 with 4:09 to go in the third quarter. Out to the top on the inbound pass, tipped by Billinger Jr. into the backcourt. The Jags will get back to it. Walker brings it back into the front court after the ball tipped across the midcourt stripe. The pick and roll, little pocket pass, right side. Cobb, contact, and the bucket. Much needed momentum there for the Jaguars with 3:52 to go in the third quarter. They're back within 4 and have a chance to make it a 3-point game at the line. It's Cobb, Cobb at the line. Free throw coming up here. A lot of chirping going back and forth along that free throw lane. And the free throw is good for Cobb to make it a three-point game. 78-75, a little pressure on in the backcourt. Khalifa back there applying that pressure on Billinger Jr., who will run the point. Shimmy shake left side, pulls up and gives it away to Lawrence. Lawrence looks underneath, finds Gentry wide open. His shot hits off the right iron. No rebound. It is collected by Boykin. Then he loses it in the backcourt. Gentry takes it back. He's got 1-on-2, goes up himself, puts it off, rolls off the left iron. This time the rebound pulled down by Walker. He pushes it up the far sideline, gets it underneath, and the lay-in goes in. Excuse me, that was Walker on the assist. That's Joshua Jones on the assist out there, sending that up the far sideline. Bellinger, the pick and roll didn't set up for him, gets it to Gentry. Things clear up for him. His teardrop runner, no good. Underneath, rebound down to Cobb. It's a 1-point game, 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Lob across the floor by Jones, just inside the sideline here on the near side for Boykin. He'll pull up for that deep three, batters it in, and back in front go the Jags on a deep three for Boykin. 80-78, a quick run here for Emerald City, and they've got the momentum back on their side. Bellinger Jr. back to the right hand. At the wing, pulls up for the jumper, a long two, rims out underneath. Khalifa for the board, but a foul on the floor called on Khalifa as he used his offhand to keep the defender off him and control him to get that board away. Fighting underneath there. Khalifa listed at 6'2". He was battling with Lawrence, listed at 6'5", and he just used that off arm to try and kind of hold him down, pin him down, and be able to collect that rebound with the right hand. So Khalifa will head to the bench. No, excuse me, he stays in the game, didn't check out. He just walks down to the bench. Free throws coming here for Dominic Lawrence. Damo hits the first one.
Yeah, one more shot. I got
2:29 to go here. And there is a timeout. I believe it's our media timeout here at the under 3 mark. So with 2:29 to go here in the third quarter, we get a break in the action. We want to say thanks to some of our sponsors for Jaguars basketball this season. That includes Threadbare Print House. Threadbare Print House provides high-quality screen printing with an emphasis on customer service and environmental responsibility. With a belief in giving back and strong roots in our local community, Threadbare has grown from a garage operation to a full-service screen printing shop. Catering to the needs of creative businesses, Threadbare makes more than just T-shirts. We make relationships that last a lifetime. We specialize in offering the best that the blank T-shirt industry has to offer in both fit and sustainability. You can usually find Threadbare Printing and Stitching in their shop at 463 Washington Street in the Market District of lovely Eugene, Oregon. And the Jags would also like to thank the Springfield Chamber of Commerce for being a supporter of Jaguars basketball. That's the Springfield Chamber of Commerce. They've got a shooting competition going on out on the floor. Make a lay-in, make a free throw, make a three-pointer, make a half-court shot probably. And these two young men are still working on the free throws, as the legendary Bill Schonley would say. Or maybe it's just a free throw shooting contest going on here. Yeah, they haven't moved from anywhere else. It's been all free throws here coming up. Getting an update on things from the sideline with our reporter Nathan Shinagawa. We head there now.
All right, we're down here on the sideline. It's been a back-and-forth game so far, but the Jags are fighting back. The Capitals have been going on multiple runs, but the Jags keep coming back. They refuse to go down. So we'll see how this game continues. Back to you, Joe.
All right, that is Nathan Shinagawa out on the sideline for us, checking in. Good crowd out here tonight. I heard that early on, record-setting crowd in their home opener for the Jags was cool to see. Good to see that the community showing up to help support, root on the players as well as the team. First year here for the Emerald City Jags, trying to get things going. And their team is looking for that first win of the season. And They've had a big rally back here. They were trailing by 7 here in this third quarter. Now back in front by 1 at 80-79. Although a chance to try and tie it up at the free throw line. Damo Lawrence will have the second of his 2 free throws coming up here in just a moment after the timeout. Well, looks like we're probably getting close to wrapping up the first day of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. Coming up tomorrow will be the first day of the women's basketball tournament, as well as the second day of the first round of the men's basketball tournament. But the Oregon State women looking to get a win. Oh, apparently, I think a technical foul assessed against the Jaguars. They've got Bellinger Jr. at the line to shoot 1. He hits it. That'll tie up the ball game, 80 all, and now at the free throw line, Lawrence will have a chance to try and give the Capitals the lead back. Oregon State basketball, the women they're hosting a regional coming up tomorrow. They're in Corvallis at Gill Coliseum, and their first game is at 5 o'clock against Eastern Washington, and then the second game of the day is Texas A&M and Nebraska. They're in Corvallis. That should be a fun regional, and cool that Oregon State gets to host that 4-team regional in the tournament. Then Portland will be hosting some of the action in the women's basketball tournament as well. Should be good. Women's basketball, this place here, the Titan Coliseum, has seen some great basketball at the NWAC JUCO level. Back to the action on the floor. Ball lost by Cobb as he tried to attack through the lane. Up the floor, here goes Gentry. His shot from the right side rolls off the iron, and the Jags can't believe they got the whistle call. 1-point lead and a chance to stretch it at the line will be Isaiah Gentry. This basketball gymnasium is now the home of your 2024 Northwest Athletic Conference women's basketball champions, the Lane Titans. The women's basketball team winning out of the South Region over their South Region rival, the Umpqua Riverhawks out of Roseburg. So this basketball gymnasium seeing some championship basketball this year. The Jags are hoping that they can kind of contribute to that here during the spring season. First free throw goes through for Gentry. Second one coming. Spins it up and through. Gets them both, 83-80, a 3-point lead with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Boykin, he's been playing heavy minutes here tonight. Walks it across the timeline, angles to the left side. Will go opposite of a screen. Backs his way in, lost his footing, but makes his way back out to the top to reset. 9 on the shot clock, and a whistle away from the basketball. Whistle against the Capitals. It's going to result in free throws as the Jags are into the bonus. Both teams in the bonus here with 1:47 to go in the third period. Top free throw good on the first attempt. Out of Western Oregon University and the Santa Maria native out of California. Right-hander nails them both to make it a 1-point game, 83-82, 1:45 to go in the third quarter. Bellinger Jr. races up the right side of the floor around Khalifa, gives it away. Cleveland back out to Lawrence. They weave it around the perimeter to the left side. Bellinger Jr. gets it in the corner. Couple of jab steps. Step back on the jumper. And that one splashes in a long 2 to make it 85-82. 1:24. Boykin steps into the defender. Throws it at the iron. No. Rebound pulled down by Maduakor. Gets it to Cleveland up the floor. To the left elbow. Traveled. That was quick footwork there by Devontae Cleveland. If you weren't watching his feet immediately, you didn't see it, but he changed his pivot foot. Gets called for the walk. 3-point ball game as we're down to 70 seconds to play in the third quarter. Boykin brings it up the left sideline. Camping in the left corner is Jones right now. Back out to the top. Walker got his shot swatted. Up the floor. Here comes Cleveland. Goes right to the rim. In front of the iron. Spins it down. 87-82. Back out to a 5-point advantage. Jones with it. Goes left of a screen. Into the corner for Walker. Walker Takes it out to the top. Long two. Heels on the three-point line. He buries it. Joshua Walker puts it through to make it a three-point game once again. 32 on the game clock, 18 on the shot clock. Right side. Oh, a long stop. Sliding to his right on that step and pull-up jumper there by Billinger Jr. The shot got tipped out of bounds. It'll go to the Jags. Tried to go with the crossover stop for Billinger Jr. He'll check out of the game. Goes checks in with Whitfield, who's at the end of the bench for the Caps with his shooting shirt on. May just be kind of trying to stay warm, get a little bit of a rest, and come back for the fourth quarter. His team leading by 3. He's the leading scorer for the Caps, but on the bench right now. Boykin, left-hand dribble into the corner. Driving baseline goes Walker. Gives it up to Cobb. Puts it up. No. Fight for the board. It's tapped back in, but no chance at a shot. Ooh, off the left side of the iron for Cleveland. It would have been late, but almost drops it in. Here at the end of the third quarter, it's 87-84. In front are the Salem Capitals. First time they lead at the end of a period after trailing at halftime. They'll take a 3-point lead going to the fourth quarter. Tonight's game of Jaguars basketball for you is sponsored by Heritage Distillery, a proud sponsor of Emerald City Jaguars. HDC makes vodkas, gins, and whiskeys and is proud to operate distillery tasting rooms in Washington and Oregon, including Gig Harbor, Roslyn, and Tumwater in Washington, and Eugene Madison and Eugene 5th Street here in Oregon.
Who wants the
One more period to go. The Jaguars trailing by 3, but not the closest they've been in a game. They've had a couple of tight ones that have not gone their direction, but they have definitely had the opportunity here tonight to carry some momentum into the fourth quarter. Trailing by 3, they'll try to see if they can come out of the timeout here to be able to build up some momentum against the Capitals. We'll see who makes their way on the floor for both teams here to start the fourth quarter. We did mention that Whitfield has been on the bench for a little while, an extended break for him there at the end of the third quarter. They look to get the home crowd into it here tonight. We'll definitely look to get some stat updates for you here coming up if we get the opportunity. Next game coming up for these two teams. Tomorrow, the Emerald City Jaguars are on the road. They'll be taking on the Vancouver Volcanoes. Road trip up north into southern Washington for a 7 o'clock tip-off for that one. And for the Salem Capitals, coming up next for them, they've got a short break here. They'll be back to action April 5th. That's a Friday night. They are hosting the Wenatchee Bighorns on a Friday night at 10:30 at the Salem Armory. That's coming up for these two teams. Last year, the Salem team lost in the second round of the TBL playoffs in the Pacific West Division, losing a playoff series, best-of-3 series against Seattle, 2-1. But taking it the full length in that one. Looking at some of the numbers here, 19 points for G. Boykin to lead the way for the Emerald City Jaguars. And for the Salem Capitals, leading scorer in the ballgame with 21 points, Preston Whitfield. Also with 17 is Joseph Bellinger Jr. (87-84) our scores. We start the fourth quarter here for you. 12 minutes on the board, and here we go. Final period, a chance to try and get that first win of the season for the Jags. To the right side, looking to attack. Khalifa bumped, pass it into the corner. Cobb with it. Dribbles out to the top. Muscles his way to the free throw line. Gives it up. Jones with it. Goes right side just before the horn. Launches. The shot rims out. Out of the cylinder, pulled down by Hafford on the board. Cleveland out to Hafford. Open look. Kicks it into the corner instead. Driving with it. Maduakor Lost it for a moment, got it back, sent it into the right corner. Now a runner. The teardrop hits the front of the iron, back of the iron, drops down for Devontae Cleveland. Khalifa will bring the ball up the floor. Left side, gets it to Scott behind the back dribble. Head fake to the free throw line. Tries to step around the defender and tried to feed one through. Thread it through the defense. Could not. Knocked out of bounds by the Capitals. Baseline inbound coming for the Jags. 8 seconds on the clock. Inbounding will be Walker. And they'll switch now. It'll be Scott to inbound. Lob out to the top for Cobb. We've got Cobb, Jones, Walker, Scott, and Khalifa on the floor for the Jags looking to attack. Defender in front of him. Knocked him down. Walker whistled for the charge. Walker picks up his first. Out there on the floor for the Capitals, you've got Tyreek Price, Salem Maduakor gets it on the right wing. Hafford out there, Cleveland. And the big man is Jameel Tolbert. Tried to enter it down right side for that was Cleveland. They tried to get it down on the right blocks too, and it was out of his reach, tipped out of bounds. It'll go to the Jags. It's a 5-point ball game here, 89-84. Minute and a half ticked away in this fourth quarter. Walker with it. Circles to the free throw line. Look for the cutter. Cobb. Ball tipped out. Last touch by Emerald City. $10:20 to play in the contest. Out at the top, Maduakor with it. Left side, head fake, looking to drive. Tolbert gets in the lane. Scoop shot off the glass in, and a whistle. Jameel Tolbert. The 6'6" small forward heads to the free throw line for the and one. He is a 63% free throw shooter coming into tonight's contest. He looks for that opportunity. 89-84. Couple of changes. Back into the game comes Fletcher. Also Boykin back into the game for the Jags. There they go. I thought it should have been 91. 91-84. The bucket went in. I thought they counted it. Scoreboard didn't have it up there just yet. And there's a conversation happening here between the officials. Coach Kevin Johnson Jr. getting an explanation. Bucket definitely went in. It would, I guess, be a conversation if they had given him the continuation. And it seems to be the consensus is, yes, they did. Tolbert hits the and one, makes it 92-84. 8-point lead, one of the largest advantages in the game for the Capitals here tonight. Backing his way up the floor, pass away right side to Scott. Fletcher buries his head into Hafford, sends it to the near corner, but it goes through the hands for Khalifa and out of bounds back to the Capitals. Cleveland will inbound from the near corner here in front of us. Into Price, who will run the point. Trots his way up across the timeline, angles to the right side. At the wing, sends it back out. Hafford, a deep three, rims out underneath, fight for the board. Cobb collects it. Gets it to Scott, who will bring it up the right side. Steps back, launches a deep three himself, and he's got it. What a deep bomb for Dante Scott out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. On the other side, driving in, whistle, an off-balance shot for Cleveland. Threw it up at the rim, gets the whistle, will get 2 shots out of it. I said that earlier that I thought that Boykin was out there. Boykin not on the floor at the moment, it doesn't look like. Mistook Khalifa for Boykin there for him. We'll see if they get him back here on the floor to finish this one out. He's played heavy minutes tonight. First free throw goes through for Cleveland, and there he is, ready to check in at the scorer's table. Here comes G. Boykin back into the game for Khalifa. He'll set up on the left side of the lane as the second free throw coming for Cleveland. 6-point game, 93-87. That deep three by Scott was much needed. Boykin comes in, gets the rebound on the miss, and he'll run the point to bring it into the front court. Speeds it up as he goes through the center circle. Dribbles to the right hand, pass it away, jab step, circle to the lane, stripped out of the hands for Fletcher, taken away by the Capitals. Weaving his way up the floor, shot blocked at the rim, rebound tipped up. Price had his shot blocked, Cobb fighting for it, Hafford there with him, and Cobb takes it away. Scott will race it into the front court down the right sideline, looks to attack. He will lay it in, and it's a 4-point game, 93-89. Tight finish coming up here down the wire, and a quick whistle on a hand check foul for Scott. 8:44 to go. A 4-point ball game. That's already the fourth foul on the Jags here in the fourth quarter. We haven't had a full 4 minutes ticked off the clock yet.
Yeah, it's not a bowling.
Looking to drive in, left-hand dribble, picked it up on the right blocks, makes the jump pass underneath, and Hafford is there to finish it. Almost looked for a moment like Cleveland was going to get trapped with defense all around him, but he finds a wide-open Hafford cutting the baseline. 6-point game, 8:24. On the right side, Boykin handed it off and picked up his dribble. He gets it back on the left side. In the corners, Fletcher tried to spin back to his right. 3 seconds on the clock. Deep three. Banks it in. It's not Banker's hours, but that one drops through for Boykin. 8:06 to go in the contest. Much needed three for the Jags. A 3-point ball game and a foul. And into the bonus, I believe, now for Salem. 95-92. And a chance to add to that 3-point lead. Here goes Devontae Cleveland. Cleveland out of Palmdale, California, hits the first. Came into today shooting at 78% at the line. One more coming for him. Gets them both to make it a 5-point ball game. Still a lot of time left in this one with 8 minutes to go in the contest here on TBL TV. Scott gets it high, left side, drives in, got around the defender. A double clutch shot, no. An offensive putback attempt for Suttles doesn't go. Rebound comes down to the Capitals, stepping into a three. No, it rims out. Underneath, Hafford fighting for it, saves it back in. A second look for Salem. Three from the left side, no. Fight for the board, Worthy underneath. Fighting along with, that was Price down there, and Worthy will inbound it as the Jags will get the basketball. Last touch by Price on that battle for the board. 5-point game still. Under 8 minutes to go in the contest. Out at the top, Boykin working against Hafford. Step back, straightaway three, back iron, no. Rebound collected by Suttles. He raced in out of nowhere to get to that one. Big second opportunity here. Fletcher driving in, his pass into the corner, tipped out by Price. Intended for Scott, but it'll stay with the Jags here on the near sideline with 7 on the shot clock. Scott will inbound. Gets it to Boykin. 6-5. Clock running down on the shot clock. Dump it underneath. Tried to get it to Worthy. Got to get a shot up before the horn, and they will not. They need a little bit better buzzer on the shot clock here at Lane Community College. That one was hard to hear. Granted, you've got the DJ rocking it out here throughout the contest, but that horn is kind of silenced in the background. Timeout down on the floor with 6:53 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's been a tight one here today. Neither team is led by more than single digits. I think the largest lead has been 9 for Emerald City in this one. And right now sitting at a 5-point lead for Salem. coming up after the game. We'll see if we can get a player interview for you, try and run through some quick stats, and wrap it up for you tonight here on TBL TV. Again, the next game for the Jaguars is going to be tomorrow. So these guys will get done here, head home, and hit the ice bath if I were them. Grab the ice packs, ice up those knees. You ice the knees, you ice the threes, I think is the saying. They'll try to get the bodies ready for a quick turnaround playing tomorrow on the road as well. So not only do they have to play back-to-back nights, but they've got to go home and then away. So they'll load up the vans and head up north to Vancouver, take on the Volcanoes tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Tune in to catch that game here on TBL TV. Definitely not out of reach here in the closing minutes of this ball game with 6:59 to play. The Jaguars trying to keep themselves in this one. They did have a game against Wenatchee postponed last Saturday. They were scheduled to play here at Lane Community College, but they were having issues getting the overhead lights to come on for some reason. So they had to postpone that one. I don't know if they've set a makeup date for that game, but the Jags should have a home game to make up on their schedule later on in the season. $6:59 to go in the ball game. Jags trail by 5. Caps in front, looking to win their 4th straight. 22 points in the game for Boykin, leading scorer for the Jaguars. 21 in the game for Whitfield. Whitfield, surprisingly, just 1 of 4 from behind the arc. And he has not been out there on the floor for much of this second half. He's 8 of 9 at the free throw line. For Boykin, 5 of 8 on three-pointers here tonight. Out at the top, Salem basketball. It's Maduakor. Pass it away left side to Price. Working against Boykin. Back out to Hafford. He drives. Got tied up at the free throw line. Probably should have been called for a travel. Threw up a wild shot. Doesn't get a whistle. No turnover. Racing the other direction. Fletcher's finger roll won't fall. And a rebound pulled down by the Capitals. Wide open underneath. Let the defense go by. Easy off the glass for 2. Dominique Lawrence, that was Tolbert on the lay-in. 99-92, 7-point lead, one of the largest of the night for Salem. Clock ticking down to 6 minutes to go in this one. The Salem fans getting into it, chanting defense. Scott lost the handle, but it went right to Suttles driving baseline, and he draws a blocking foul. Inbound coming up here on the near sideline. It'll be Scott to send it in. Just the 3rd foul against Salem in this one. Tolbert will go to the bench. Back into the game is Mo Smith. Inbound for Scott. We'll get it to Boykin. 14 on the shot clock after that whistle. Fletcher with it. Out on the elbow. Ball tipped out. It'll stay with the Jags. They trail by 7. It's a lot of time left, but they've got to get some offense going here. I've got to do it quick here on this possession. 4 seconds on the shot clock. And a whistle. I got screened on the call. But it's a turnover by the Jaguars. I think an illegal screen might have been set there. Turnover by Emerald City. Those Capitals will send it up the left side. Attacking right in goes Cleveland. His wraparound shot, no, but underneath it's Smith there for the offensive board. Ball tipped out on the inbound. It'll stay on that side of the floor, but it'll stay with the Jaguars. 101-92. 5:40 to play. And some full court pressure here by Salem, and they tip it out again. Salem really amping up the defensive pressure here in the closing minutes of the game. Substitution in. Cobb is going to come into the game. They've got to Suttles is checking out. He's going to take the long way all the way around the court here. 101-92, 9-point lead. That'll be the largest of the night for Salem. Inbound gets to Scott. A lot of defensive pressure in the backcourt by Salem there, but they recover, get back, and set up in the half court. A screen by Cobb sets up an open look at a three by Boykin. No, underneath, rebound tipped out of the hands of Fletcher. It'll stay with Emerald City. From the baseline, they'll inbound. Shots haven't been dropping here as of late for Emerald City. Send it into the left corner. Backing his way down. Scott back out to Q. Q enters it down for Boykin. Fall away. He gets it to go as he slides across the baseline. Boykin with a much needed 2 there. 7-point game. 5:02 to play. Left side 3. Rims out. Race to get the board. It's pulled down by Scott. Looking up the floor. Gets it up to Q. Q lob across the floor into the hands of Boykin. Hafford was there to try and tip it away. Didn't get his hand on it, and then he collides with Boykin and whistled for the foul. And back into the game here will come Preston Whitfield back in. So is Joseph Billinger Jr., the 2 top scorers for Salem, come back into the game. They had a lengthy rest here tonight. Out at the top, Scott, harassed by Whitfield, almost lost the dribble, gets it to Boykin. Boykin at the left elbow, tried to send it into the corner. That ball tipped out of bounds. Emerald City keeps the possession with 6 on the shot clock. They'll spread the floor. Boykin in the near corner. Triggering the inbound, Scott. Out to the top for Boykin. 5 on the shot clock, working against Bellinger Jr. The runner just up short on the push shot with the right hand. Rebound came down to Scott. He'll step around the defender. His scoop shot, no. Underneath the rebound, pulled down by Smith. And now a foul in the backcourt by Fletcher as Whitfield tries to dribble away from pressure. And in the bonus are the Capitals. They'll head to the free throw line for free throws. It's usually what you do at the free throw line. 4:26 to go here in this fourth quarter. Whitfield will go to the line. He's been on the bench for a while, getting a rest. He gets a chance to shoot free throws, and he rolls it over the front of the iron and in. .102.94. 103. Back out to that 9-point lead for the Capitals. 4:20 to play here in the fourth quarter. Boykin across, angles left side with the left-hand dribble. Crossover goes right around a screen, marked by Maduakor. Gives it away right side to Scott, back out. Boykin with it, goes left into the corner, a 3 by Fletcher. Yes, sir! Knocks it down from the left corner. Back into within 6 for the Jaguars. Walking it across the timeline, Bellinger Jr. sends it right side for Whitfield. Whitfield goes left, back to his right, circles back out, cut off, looking underneath, lobs it down, ball tipped, saved back in, and a takeaway. It's Boykin that brings it up the floor. Goes right to the rim, throws it up. He wanted to avoid getting the whistle. No whistle for either side. Up the floor. Here goes Whitfield. Steps around Scott and lays it in right in front of the iron with the finger roll. Fletcher with 3:23 to go in the game. Drives left side. Takes contact. Throws it up and in. Back within 6 and a chance to try and make it a 5-point game. A lot of heavy breathing out there on the floor for both these teams as it's been an up and down pace in this one. And for the Jags, their starters have been out there a lot. On the other side, for Salem, they've been able to utilize the bench a little bit more. Free throw, though, is good. Fletcher, still a little bit of juice left in the battery to nail that one at the line. Makes it a 5-point game. 3:14 and counting. Fourth quarter action for you here from the Titans Coliseum on the campus of Lane Community College. Falling down, found a man wide open in the middle. Bellinger. That'll be one of his more acrobatic highlight reel assists of the night. Sent it into the middle and found, I believe that was Smith on the 2. A Shot long two on the left side, falls off the iron for Fletcher. Gentry brings it up left side, hands it off to Bellinger Jr. He hooks the pass back to left side to Gentry, cuts to the iron, slices in and lays it down with the right hand. And just like that, back out to a 9-point lead, a quick 4-0 run for the Capitals. The Jags had gotten it back down within 5, but couldn't keep it going. Right side, Boykin dribbling in, has to turn back out. Pushes it out to the top. Fletcher with it. Drives with the left hand. Gets contact. Sends it up. Yes, they'll count it. Another chance at the three-point play here for Kevin Fletcher out of Detroit, Michigan. Fletcher trying to have a big finish here for the Jags, and he sends us to the under 3 media timeout. Free throw coming after the timeout here for Kevin Fletcher. It's a 7-point ball game with 2:18 left to go in the contest. We are going to check in with Nathan Shinagawa out on the floor. So let's check in with Nathan.
The game is coming down to the wire here in Lane Community College. The Jags are down 109-102. We're going to see how this last few minutes play out in the final quarter.
All right, thank you, Nathan. Appreciate it. It has been an exciting one, and we'll see how it finishes out. This would be a fantastic comeback win for the Jags if they could pull it off. Obviously, it's going to be a bit of a heartbreaker if they can't. After leading through much of this contest, they led at the end of the first quarter and led at the end of halftime, and it was just a small margin for Salem at the end of the third quarter. So they've been in this game all the way. Unfortunately, they trail by 7 here with an and 1 free throw coming up. But there's just 2:18 left to play, and if the Jags could pull it off, they'll definitely have plenty of reason to celebrate. If they don't, they'll definitely look back on this one as one that missed opportunities down the stretch. And they'll have to see if they can regroup and get it all back together as they get ready to take on the Vancouver Volcanoes coming up tomorrow. Taking a look at the Pacific Northwest standings, Vancouver leading the way right now with a 4-1 record, followed by the Seattle Superhawks at 4-2. Salem in third place, coming into today at 3-2 after losing their first 2 games. They've reeled off 3 straight wins. Then Great Falls at 1-2, Wenatchee at 1-2, and your Jaguars currently at 0-4, bringing up the rear, looking to try and turn around their luck here tonight. Free throw coming. It'll be Kevin Fletcher at the line. Fletcher had an and 1 not that long ago. Looking to see if he still has the juice that we previously mentioned. Batteries are getting low at this point. Looking to make it a 6-point game, and he does. Fletcher continues to score. 109-103, 2:15 to play. Lob up the floor. Gentry with it. Back out to the top. Holding up the play call. Bellinger Jr. angles left side. Marked by Fletcher. Crossover left hand. Slices in. It rims off. Rebound. Tipped around. It goes right to the hands of Maduakor. He puts up a shot. No, a third look. Lost it out of bounds underneath. That is Smith. He had a defender on his back. Kind of lost his balance. Fell out of bounds. Turnover by the Capitals. They almost had a chance at 3 straight looks. Couldn't capitalize on any of them. It's a 6-point ball game. Looking to cut into it. Down to 1:42 to go. Right side, Scott goes baseline. Cut off at the blocks. Looks for the cutter. Cobb knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. Stays with the Jaguars. Inbound coming from the baseline for Emerald City. They got to get somebody to come send it in. It'll be Scott. Left side of the floor. He's got the basketball. Out to the right side. A 3 by Fletcher. No. Rebound underneath. Pulled down by Smith. The Capitals get the stop they needed there. Down to 1:25 to go in the contest. Bellinger takes it out between the circles with the left-hand dribble. Left side to Whitfield. Whitfield will take the right-hand jab step, tries to split two, stays on his feet. A windmill shot does not go. He got clobbered. He's still on the ground. It's 4-on-4 down on this side. The Jags attacking, throwing it up, gets a whistle. That's Boykin, who will get a chance to get two at the line and make it. If he can get them both, we're looking at a 4-point game inside the final 60 seconds. Boykin goes down hard, grabbing the back of his head a little bit there. Stays in the game. You've got Fletcher, Cobb, Boykin, Scott, and Suttles out on the floor for Emerald. Maduakor, Smith, Bellinger Jr., Whitfield, and Gentry on the floor for the Capitals right now. The free throw up and good. 109-104 with 1 minute and 4 seconds to play in this one. 64 seconds left to go. Second free throw clinks the iron and falls through for Boykin. Keeps it in there. It's a 109-105 score. The Capitals leading. Points here might just be the final nail in the coffin for the Jaguars. They're looking for a stop. 52 seconds to go. Bellinger circles it back. Ball lost by Smith, and it's taken away. Boykin with it. He's going to work his way up the floor. Looks to attack. Goes left side, but he lost it. He can't save it back in. Had the chance to try and get a lay-in from the left side. Ends up in the padding along the baseline. Grimace on the face of Boykin there. He knew he had the opportunity. He just lost the handle. Things had opened up for him. I think he would have had a pretty decent look at a left-hand lay-in to make it a 2-point game. Instead, it stays at 4, and we're down to 39 seconds to go. Bellinger Jr. across the timeline. Angles to the left side. Working back and forth against Boykin. Gets a screen, goes left side, and a whistle. Quick foul there against Emerald City. They can start fouling to try and conserve the clock a little bit here, but Salem's been hitting their free throws. They send one of the top scorers in the game, Bellinger Jr., to the line with that foul. Both teams in the bonus. Bellinger hits it. Makes it a 5-point game. Suttles is going to check out. They're going to put, that is Joshua Jones back out there on the floor. Second free throw. It's a 6-point game, 25 to go. Need a couple of threes here. You could probably try and get a 2, but you got to get some points. A 3 by Scott. No, off the left iron. Rebound down to Fletcher. Tries to go right back up. He'll get it. No whistle. He wants it. They got a foul. Trying to get that. It's Gentry that'll draw the whistle. Fletcher with the points. He's had a big fourth quarter finish. Trying to keep the Jags in this one. It's a 4-point game, but we walk the other direction as Isaiah Gentry, an 86% free throw shooter, heads to the line. Looking to ice it here. The Capitals trying to win their 4th straight on the season after dropping their first 2. At the line's going to be Isaiah Gentry out of Milwaukee, Oregon, in-state product. First one does not go down for him. Played at Vanguard University. Gentry's second attempt is good. Timeout taken. And with 12.3 to go, it is a 5-point game. So not out of reach yet, but you're kind of getting to the spot where you need a 2 and a foul or a couple of threes here. 12.3 seconds to go. Well, if you've been watching here tonight and you're thinking, boy, it sure would be fun to go to a game, you're not wrong. They're about to give away a Trailblazer signed basketball, which, you know, that's not too bad there. Trailblazers have definitely had quite the season this year. Most recently coming off a loss against the Los Angeles Clippers last night. They play again tomorrow night up at the Moda Center in Portland against the Clippers, a young Blazers team. I don't know which version of the Portland Trailblazers have signed this basketball, if it's the current team. If so, there could definitely be some young and up-and-coming stars on that basketball that would be pretty cool. I think they are pulling out the raffle tickets here at the moment. But I don't know about you, but you get some affordable family entertainment, some basketball here at the Titans Coliseum, and you got the opportunity to win some cool prizes like a Trailblazer signed basketball. Hey, why not? Come on out and visit us here at Lane Community College for some Emerald City Jaguars basketball in the Basketball League. They'll have plenty more home games here coming up, but on the road tomorrow to Vancouver. 12.3 seconds left to play in this one. 5-point lead for the Salem Capitals. Out of the timeout, it's Jaguars basketball. Jags inbound to Cobb, gives it right back to Fletcher. He'll put up a three, contested, off the iron, no. Rebound pulled down by Salem, foul. And heading to the line will be Salem Maduakor. Struggled with that one all night. Maduakor heads to the line for the free throws. This will definitely be an opportunity to ice this one here with 5.2 to go. A couple of buckets can stretch it to a 3-possession game. Substitutions coming in. Dante Scott heading to the bench. I believe just fouled out of the contest, if I read that correctly. At the line, Maduakor. Off the left side. Leaves the door open just a sliver for the Jaguars here. But it would be some March Madness if they could pull it off here. Second one is good. It is a 6-point game. Inbound goes to Boykin. 3 seconds to go across the timeline. Sets up for the three at the horn. No. And your final score tonight, 113-107. The Salem Capitals win their 4th straight as the Emerald City Jaguars fade down the stretch. Can't quite overcome the Capitals tonight. Will fall to 0-5 on the season. 113-107, your final score here this evening as the Capitals will get to go home with their 4th consecutive win. We'll definitely look to try and give you some post-game recap here in a moment. I believe our sideline man, Nathan Shinagawa, will be looking to check in with a player here tonight. He'll head out that direction. We'll also check in with some final stats for you here in just a moment as well. Well, unfortunately, it didn't work in the Jaguars' favor here tonight, but you've got to give them plenty of credit on how they hung with the Capitals here tonight. A close first half, leading to halftime. But the second half just ran out a little bit of gas there for the Jaguars. Nate is out there looking to grab an interview for us here. Nathan Shinagawa. I believe they're looking to try and get Preston Whitfield. Oh, no, excuse me. They're grabbing one of the Jags players. It's Kevin Fletcher they're going to talk to here.
Tough loss there. You guys kind of got out-rebounded there. How are you guys going to adjust to that in practice next week?
We just got to just play stronger. We just got to all 5 crash down. We just got to get the rebound. It's all effort. It's all effort.
So you guys got a game against Vancouver tomorrow. Got to rest up, rebound. How are you guys prepared for that?
We just go home, get some rest, relax our bodies, just be ready to go tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Kevin. Good luck tomorrow.
Kevin Fletcher with Nathan Shinagawa down on the floor. Our post-game recap there with the Jaguars. See if we can get some stats here in just a moment, but as we wrap this one up here tonight, final score again, 113-107. It'll be in favor of the Salem Capitals here tonight, who will go to 4-2 on the season as they look to try and keep up with the top teams in the Pacific Northwest, Vancouver and Seattle. That 4-2 record now puts them in a tie with Vancouver, barring any games there coming up tonight for Vancouver. Well, as we wrap it up here tonight, the Emerald City Jaguars finishing off here this evening. Again, a 113-107 loss in this one against the Salem Capitals. I believe leading scorer in the game, Preston Whitfield for Salem. And definitely still looking to see if we can find some final numbers for you. But Whitfield was in double figures, over 20 points, entering into the last media time out there at 21. Didn't play a lot of the second half, didn't need to, as Salem gets the win. They own the glass here tonight. They will look to try and improve on that. A nice job for Emerald City on controlling some of the three-point shooting for Salem, but unfortunately just kind of ran out of the juice in the second half. And free throw numbers, 31 for 37 at the free throw line for Salem at our last stat check, only 11 for 14 for the Emerald City Jaguars. So tough one there on the free throw numbers for the Jags here tonight. That definitely comes into play here this evening. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up here for you, folks. You can definitely check out the box score and the recap online. Visit the Basketball League TBL website. You'll find more details there. But coming up next for the Emerald City Jaguars, it's going to be tomorrow night, a 7 o'clock tip-off as they head to Vancouver. We heard Kevin Fletcher say there, rest up, ice up, get ready to go, and see if they can hit the court and pick up that first win of the season coming up tomorrow. They'll take on the Vancouver Volcanoes at 7 o'clock on the road for the Emerald City Jaguars. For the Salem Capitals, they've got the Wenatchee Bighorns in their next game, April 5th, on a Friday. That'll be a 10:30 tip-off time for that one. I think we're going to get one more check-in with Nathan here before we send it out. But that is April 5th. You can catch all these games on TBL TV, of course, to follow the action for the Jags. And we're going to get an interview here, Coach.
Back and forth, but you guys came back with the win, kind of fought against some adversity. How did you motivate your team to do that?
Oh, it's the same thing. I tell them it starts from defense. I mean, we're on the road. All the games are never going to be pretty. It's basketball. So at the end of the day, I was glad that my guys were able to grind it out, pull out the victory. And that's just how basketball goes. No matter how we played last game, it depends on how we show up this game. And my team was able to pull out the victory, and we have something, we can learn from.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Congratulations. Have a good one.
Thank you. Take care.
Nathan Shinagawa there with head coach of the Salem Capitals, Kevin Johnson, to wrap things up for us here tonight. Well, as we wrap it up here, folks, we want to say thank you to the Salem Capitals and the Emerald City Jaguars for a very entertaining and fun game for us here tonight. Look forward to seeing how things continue on for these two teams. For the Jaguars, just looking to try and get over the hump and get that first win of the season. I want to say thanks to everybody that helped make tonight's broadcast possible, including our sideline reporter, Nathan Shinagawa. I believe Justin, if I'm remembering correctly, here running our production on the video side. All of the camera folks that helped put this one here together for us here tonight.
That was a tough loss, but you guys got a big game tomorrow against Vancouver.
Oh, we got another interview for you, folks.
How are you guys going to just bounce back and be ready to go for tomorrow?
Honestly, today we really showed that we can really fight and hang in the games. Everything we have to do is we just got to take protection the whole game. Toward the end there, we just didn't stay connected. And tomorrow when we get into end the game down the stretch, we'll be more locked in.
Is there any particular aspect from this game that you're going to take away and really utilize to work, maybe make it an emphasis for the game plan tomorrow to get the win?
Biggest thing we have to do is stay connected. I feel like we had to one tonight. We saw it get disconnected to the ends, but as a whole, chemistry got be key and move forward with it.
All right, thank you, Coach. Have a good night.
All right, Nathan, with a surprise interview for us there with the coaches here as we wrap things up. Appreciate everybody. Again, the final score, 113-107. Salem Capitals on top of the Emerald City Jaguars as the Capitals win their fourth straight to improve to 4-2 on the year, dropping to 0-5. The Jags losing their fifth straight. It was an entertaining game, though, all the way down to the stretch, and we thank everybody for being a part of it here tonight and joining us along the TBL TV network. Again, thanks to all the crew for putting this one together tonight. I'm Joey Kieran. Thanks to you, the fans, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast because, as I like to say, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. Have a great evening, everybody. This has been Jaguars Basketball on TBL TV.